still in this battle. You think I'd get it. Well, after it was over, I said, I got it. I survived to go through this thing. But in that, He's forgiven our sins. He heals all our diseases. When does He heal your diseases? Can't answer that, can you? It doesn't say when, except that He took them on the cross. When He died on the cross, that's when it was healed. Now we have to walk in it. Bless the Lord. Here's the benefits. Now I get to walk in this stuff. And that's a hard one because sickness is a difficult thing to walk through. How many would agree? It's a tough thing to walk through because there's so many questions of how come and why is it going this way. I don't know. I don't have lots of answers about this stuff this morning, but I don't know. What I know is He promised He'd heal all our diseases. And in our case, it was more of a refiner's fire than anything. Wouldn't you agree?
Absolutely.
That the trial, and what Steve and I were talking about, was it earlier in the week? I forget when it was.
We got on to testing.
Yeah, trying to temptation to testing. But the trial here it was a refiner's fire, kind of a fiery trial. But it still doesn't negate the fact that He heals all our diseases. Healing is there. And if you didn't like it here, He gave us a gift of healing and a gift of miracles. You know, how long does it take? I don't know. How long does it take to get healed? I don't know. As long as God takes to heal. I don't care how long as it happens. That's my big thing. But what's the devil going to use against you? Well, you're still depressed. You still have all this stuff. Don't forget the benefits. Forgiveness of sins is part of it. Healing, part of it. It all comes together in the package. But what does it take? Bless the Lord. Soul, you're going to bless God. I'm not going to be unstable and go back and forth in all my ways. Verse 4. Who redeemed thy life from destruction, and He's crowned me with loving kindness and tender mercies. He's redeemed my life from destruction. That was me, headed for destruction. I don't know if I ever told you. I'm sure I have. I've told you guys everything. But my dad went through a chemical dependency unit a long time ago for alcoholism. And I was 18. I just turned 18. Was working offshore. He went through in the summer, so I was working offshore. And, you know, what do they call those things now?
Intervention?
Well, yeah, we had that. But the actual, the Betty Ford Clinic.
Rehab?
Rehab, yeah. It's a nice name now. It's rehab. And for us, it wasn't rehab. It was... all the alcoholics went to a place, and my dad told us, he said, yep, we didn't have TV, had nothing like that. You sat on your bed at night and you counted that they had those tiles on the ceiling, with the holes in them, the acoustic tile, they had holes in them. He said, I can tell you exactly how many tiles and exactly how many holes and where everything was. He said, that's all we had to do was sit and think. But my dad went through this when I was 18, and we went through a family week. And, the families, me and my mom and my dad were there. I was only one. And we go through all this stuff, and at the end, they tell you, the counselor tells you what he thinks. And the guy told me, he said, Jerry, you'll probably never drink. And I nodded, smartly as I could nod. At 18 years old, I knew everything. He said, but you'll be dead by the time you're 30. And my eyes got big. He said, high blood pressure, heart attack, stroke, or you'll blow your brains out. And the worst part about it was he was right. I knew he was right. 6 months later, I got saved. I was 19. 6 months later, I got saved. Because I knew he was right. Well, what am I saying here? He redeemed my life from destruction. My life was headed for destruction. And I wasn't an alcoholic. I never would have been an alcoholic. I don't like drinking. I don't like being around drinking. I did a little bit of it, but I said, this would make me like my parents, and there's no way that's going to happen. But I was strung so horribly tight, He had to redeem my life from destruction. How many would agree I'm not strung so tight anymore? Rosie, am I strung tight? I've loosened up over my long years. But I don't want to be in destruction. I don't want a life that's headed for destruction, that in the end is headed for hell. In the end, it's headed for nothing. Because what is destruction? Your life blows apart. He's taken me. He redeemed my life from destruction. He took me and put me on a new path and said, now walk down this road. It's better for you. Walk down this road. You'll be happy. Walk down this road. And I had a long time of getting to where I wasn't going to have a heart attack or a stroke by the time I was 30. 30 years old, my 30th birthday in Pennsylvania. I sat up in bed and I told the devil, you've tormented me for the last 12 years or for the last 30 years. That guy said I'd be dead by the time I'm 30. Well, I'm 30 now. From here on out, it's my turn. You've had your turn, it's my turn now. And I've had so much fun chasing the devil. That's a redeemed life. Chasing the devil and giving him fits, and we're just getting started. I mean, I'm going into phase 3 of my life. For her, she says phase 3 and 4. She got 2 more to go. Lord told her 2 more to go. I said, I don't know about me, maybe I got one long one. Or this, I'll go to heaven and she'll do phase 4 from there. She'll just say, now good, he's out of the way. No, I know that. I'm playing with you. But you see, he redeemed my life from destruction. How many of us are on the path to destruction in our minds? I mean, I wasn't ever on a path to destruction in things that I did. But here, it was horrible. Here is my life was going to crater. Here, I had no life. Now, my mind's in one piece. But he redeemed me from that. He took me from one and put me in another. Bless the Lord. Where are we? He crowned me with loving kindness and tender mercies. He put loving kindness on my head. Crown actually here means to surround. He surrounded me with his loving kindness and his tender mercy. How many of you guys ever had a boss that was loving and understanding and really tried to work with you and help you? Then you have a boss that's just not that. That is just not the nicest person in the world. And you know the difference. The best way I can put it is growing up, I was not surrounded by loving kindness and tender mercy. If you did wrong in my house, you heard about it. If you messed up, they got right up in your face and told you. Spanking was a daily occurrence. And sometimes an hourly occurrence. So, there was nothing like that in my life. I didn't understand tender mercy and loving kindness. When I met my wife, I told her, I said, you have changed my outlook of how I see God. Because she surrounded me with tender mercy and loving kindness. If I mess up, she says, okay, yeah, you'll work it out. No problem. She never once has ever rejected me, said you're wrong, you're bad, you're stupid, what's wrong with you? Why don't you straighten it out? See, how does God surround you with it or teach you? However he has to. He used my wife to teach me. Because I had an idea. I mean, Virgil helped me a lot. But he just... Loving kindness and tender mercy is not the words that I would put with Virgil. My relationship with Virgil. You know?
He broke the barnacles off.
Yeah, he broke the barnacles off. And my wife rubbed in the oil and the wine and said, okay, let's smooth you out now. You know, he got the rough edges off. And the Lord used her to say, now let's make you what you need to be. But I understand now, because of her, what it is to be surrounded by loving kindness and tender mercy. That whatever you do, God's there saying, okay, you messed up a little bit. Fine, let's back up. Let's back up and try it again. Let's back up and keep going. I'm right here. I'm not leaving. We'll get it right. We'll do it right. We'll make it work. Don't worry about it. Let's straighten up and keep going. I understand that now. How many of you understand that? And it's easy for me to understand. I'm working on putting it out there because I can be Virgil. I know how. I tried it with my wife. It didn't work. She said, no. You're not Virgil. I'm not you.
Virgil.
Yeah, I didn't marry Virgil. I married you. Straighten up. So I did. I said, okay, this is not the best way. I have to live with this woman. I better be nice. She feeds me. I could wind up with all kinds of stuff. Her mother tried to put broken glass in my sugar once, in my tea. You didn't know that? They had she actually did, and they just had
We had a crystal sugar
crystal sugar bowl, and it kind of chipped off, and I was eating something. What is that? So I took it out, and it was shards of crystal in I think in my cereal or something. And I said, my mother-in-law is trying to kill me. I think we'll just pass on this meal, thank you. No. So now, to this day, she has a crystal sugar bowl, and it's a metal or pewter, something like that, sugar bowl. Jerry doesn't dip into the crystal anymore. They both have sugar in them. I don't touch the sugar bowl, the crystal one. It only takes once. You try and put glass in my stuff once. I learned. So he says, redeem me from destruction. He's crowned me with loving kindness and tender mercies, who satisfy my mouth with good things, so that thy youth is renewed like the eagles. He satisfied my mouth with good things. What are good things? I love to talk about the blessings of God. That's a good thing. Because if you're walking in the blessings of God and you can tell about the blessings of God, what are you doing? You're helping others, and you're realizing this is what the Lord's doing in my life. This is where He's taken my life. This is what's happening in me. He satisfied my mouth with good things, so that my youth is renewed like an eagle's. Renewed youth. Is my youth being renewed?
Yeah.
Do I act childlike at times?
Yes.
See, I'll ask knowing what the answer is. I'm like a lawyer. Never ask a question you don't know what the answer is. But it's true. I like childlike. I like being young. Acting young, okay. I have to look at Lisa because I'm 2 weeks, 20 days, something like that, 15 days older than you. So anytime I say something about being young, I can just see it going through her head. You're not that young.
It makes her not that young.
Yeah, it makes you not that young. But what happens? He renews our youth. He doesn't renew my age, but He renews my mind. My mind still thinks young. My mind doesn't think old. It thinks, let's go and do. I'm ready to move into the next phase of my young life because I'm ready to travel. Let's go. Let's travel the world. Let's go see what's out there. Let's go do what the Lord wants us to do. Let's find out. I can do anything. How many kids think they can't do anything? Have you guys, I'm going to look at you because you played, I've seen you grow up playing video games. Have you ever gotten a video game, when you got it, you thought, I can master this. I can do this. I can handle this. I can play this game. See, if you're old, you think, I can't do this. I have no clue. You put me on a video game? Now what button does what? Why are there 8 buttons? Well, this one does that, and that. Why is there...
Oh, right there, like honeycomb.
Yeah, why is that thing moving across there? You're pushing the button. What button? I don't see any buttons. Wait, slow this thing down a little bit. Does it have a stupid setting? I know it's on beginner. You got to come down. See, that's old. My mind, when it comes to that, doesn't think I can do this. It thinks, oh man, why am I in here doing this?
More like, why do this?
Yeah. It's like, okay, just look, I'll push the button and you just go ahead and shoot me. You just kill me quick. Let's get this over so I can get out of here. That's an old way of thinking. We didn't grow up with that kind of stuff. Pong, yeah, I can master Pong. I'll beat you at Pong. Because one little knob, I can do that. But when you get all this other stuff, no, I'm too old. But other things in life, I can do anything. I feel like I literally can do anything. The Lord's taken us through this. God, if you're taking us here, fine, let's go. Let's go do whatever it is you want us to do. He'll renew your youth. Old people think life's over. Life's done. I can't do anything. It's all over with. Why even try? Why do anything? Why try? Why don't you just give up, sit down, and die? Let's sit down, watch TV, and one day you just won't wake up. How's that for living? I'd rather him fill my mouth with good things